Hello, it's Mark Ridgway again with Lesson 2 in how to use PrayerMate. So we're actually going to start at the end point. I'm assuming you've set up all your prayer subjects and lists. We'll talk about what they are. And it's all set up, ready to go, and we're going to start praying on a daily basis. You open up the app and you click on Start Praying. And PrayerMate selects a list of prayer subjects. Now, subjects are the things you pray for. And it selects it based on various parameters that you all set up separately, and we'll learn about that in the next lesson. You've got control of how much you pray for by this little plus and minus. I've set it to 9 items to pray for, noting that I have 19 set up. I just want to pray for 9 today. Now, it would be nice to have various profiles, quick prayer, medium prayer, long prayer. That would be really nice, but it's not there. So the only control you have at the moment is this plus or minus thing. Or you can go down to the bottom here and just pray for a specific set of things. So you then click from right to left, swipe from right to left, and here's our first prayer. It's made up of this thing here. That is the list name. So the lists are the groupings of prayer subjects, because we want to group them, because we want to treat sets of prayer subjects in a similar way. That's why we have lists. Down here is the prayer subject. Now this is a subscribed prayer. And what do I mean by that is that I have subscribed to the TWWY Praise God service. And this gets downloaded each day whenever I go to pray for it. It's something new each day. So you can see the date here, 17th of January, which is today. And this section here is the prayer card. It's the guts of the prayer. You don't have to have prayer cards, but you would normally write stuff because this is a prayer diary. You can unsubscribe. If you click here, you can see that you can unsubscribe from the thing and it will disappear from your list. Scroll over to the next prayer. This is another prayer that I haven't written. This is a downloaded prayer, which is different because if you go up to here, you don't see the unsubscribe thing because this has been written by someone else and it's been downloaded into my PrayerMate database. And it's very nicely written by someone in Desiring God. I move on, and now I come to stuff that I'm praying for. I've written all of these prayers myself. In this case, the list is family, and the subject is my spouse, and I've got 3 prayer cards: health, job, church. Very simple. Up here, it would be nice to have a quick button. You can view archived cards. So as you pray for things are going to be answered or just become no longer functional. Things come and go, and so you would archive things. When you archive them, you can see them in this. The greyed areas are the ones that have been archived. In this case, this operation last year was a great success. I've noted that, and you can see that I prayed for that today. Admittedly, it's just the way I've set it up. And here, you can have any number of prayer cards. Here's another prayer. This is a downloaded prayer as well, because you can look up here and you can see that this is not a subscribed one. There's no unsubscribed. So this has been downloaded. But it looks different. As you can see, there are multiple prayer cards here, but they're not listed down the page. They're stacked. So this is a stacked prayer card. And you can move using the arrows. And the beauty of that is that with this particular prayer, it's probably got half a dozen different prayers, and you don't need to pray for everyone every day. You would just pray for one, and PrayerMate remembers where you're at. So if you do 4 today, next time this comes up, it'll take you to prayer number 5 in the list, the prayer stack. And as we flip again, we've got prayers for my daughter, my son. Now, it could be that I want to add some extra stuff here, so I click here. You can see that I've got an archive there from his football match that I can see that's been archived off, and I might want to say yes, successful, they're all very good, and I can update the prayer just in place. I can also archive it just by simply clicking on this archive and replace the card. I've got two options. One is to just archive and get rid of it, or to archive it and get set up with a new prayer card, which I might call just new item. Click on done up here, and so I now have multiple. If you go look at the archive, you'll see I've got multiple archive prayers and this new one all set up. It's a prayer diary and it works quite effectively. And I'm praying for my church here and for myself. These are all prayers that are in my database. And then I hit this one, which is a group prayer. And I'm not going to cover group prayers in this series of lectures. That's a separate subject. But it is possible to create a group and share prayer groups. You can't see each other's prayers, of course, but you will see each other's group prayers. Okay, and you can, this is not meant to replace WhatsApp or whatever, it's just to put a place where you can regularly pray for the things that people think are important. Then you go round and round. Okay, that's an introduction. That's what a prayer session looks like. Doesn't look very exciting. However, once your list builds up, and once you pull in lots of prayer resources, suddenly you start to find that you get into a wonderful rhythm. But how do you get that set up? And that's the subject for our next lecture.